I think if he had been more Bharat, we would have had a less rosy view of our relationship with China. Part of being Bharat is also to be clear-headed about your own interests and not being swayed by what other, the willingness to, in a sense, you want to look nice in front of other people to a point where it necessarily is not in your own interest. Everybody knows about Hanuman, but there was another monkey prince called Angad, or his mother Tara. Now each one of them in a way made a diplomatic contribution. Or the idea of a rising power, that how does a rising power deal with a entrenched power? And Ramayana also contains the story of two sages, one of whom is entrenched, accepted, and one of whom is trying to prove himself. Or the idea of allies, of reliability. So I think, there's a combination of changing society, building capabilities, looking at the world, setting out your course, and then having the willpower to pursue it. Smart people coming and changing foreign policy. It has changed because the country has changed. I mean, what has changed within the country today gives many more options and possibilities for us. The idea is why create problems when you don't need to? In fact, if you make an effort, you mitigate or you obviate or you solve a problem. So I think if he had been more Bharat, we would have had a less rosy view of our relationship with China, between Sardar Patel and Pandit Nehru on China. And they have very starkly differing views about it. Or if one looks at even the whole UN Security Council issue, this is not something which today someone is saying. I mean, this is a letter which Nehru has written to chief ministers saying, first let China take its place in the Security Council. Or even when actually the 1962 conflict war was taking place, where Nehru actually writes to Kennedy saying, look, I need your help, but I'm not quoting his exact words, but more or less like, I was hesitating to ask you because I was not sure how it would look overall. I mean, when your country is actually under attack. So I think what happens is, in a sense, there is a certain, I would say, a kind of a left-wing ideology which was very strong in that period, which in China, and similarly, there's very ingrained hostility towards the United States. That, mind you, the Americans did a lot to deserve it. That's a different matter. But the fact is that there were things which the Americans did which probably didn't deserve it.
So that hasn't changed about the Americans, by the way.
No, well.
I'm just kidding.
In fact, again, it's an interesting issue where one of the last comments of Sardar Patel on foreign policy was, why are we sort of so distrustful of America? We should look at America from the viewpoint of our own interest, not from the viewpoint of how the Americans are dealing with China.